In 1922, on a remote farm in Germany, 6 members of a family were brutally murdered. But the murders themselves were not the strangest part of the story, because before the killing, the family had already reported something disturbing. Footprints in the snow leading toward their farmhouse, but none leading away. And someone may have already been living inside their home. The farm was called Hinterkaifeck. It stood alone in the Bavarian countryside, about a mile away from the nearest village. The Gruber family lived there. Andreas Gruber, his wife Cecilia, their widowed daughter Victoria, and Victoria's 2 young children. On the very day the murders occurred, a new maid had also arrived at the farm. Life at Hinterkaifeck was quiet, isolated, peaceful, at least from the outside. But Andreas Gruber had recently begun noticing strange things happening around the property, things that made him uneasy. One day, he discovered footprints in the snow. They came from the nearby forest and led directly to the farmhouse. But there were no footprints leaving the property. It was as if someone had walked there and simply never left. Soon after, members of the family began hearing strange noises coming from the attic. Footsteps, movement, late at night, when everyone else was asleep. When Andreas climbed the stairs to investigate, he found nothing. No one was there. A few days later, a newspaper appeared inside the home. No one in the family had purchased it, no one recognized it, and no one knew how it had gotten inside the house. Then something else disappeared. A set of house keys. Despite searching the entire farmhouse, they were never found. Even with these strange events, life on the farm continued until the night of March 31st, 1922. Sometime that evening, something terrible happened inside the farmhouse. One by one, members of the family were lured into the barn. There, they were attacked. Later, the remaining members of the household were killed inside the house itself. 6 people in total, the entire family gone in a single night. But what investigators would later discover made the case even more disturbing. The bodies were not discovered immediately. Several days passed before anyone realized something was wrong. Neighbors noticed the family had not been seen, yet smoke was still rising from the chimney. The animals had been fed. Someone had clearly been inside the farmhouse. When investigators finally entered the property, they realized something chilling. The killer had stayed behind, possibly for days, living in the same house, walking through the same rooms, feeding the animals, while the farm remained silent. Police launched a massive investigation. More than 100 suspects were questioned. Neighbors, travelers, former workers, even members of the family's own community. But despite years of investigation, no one was ever convicted. The farmhouse itself was eventually demolished, and over time, many of the records connected to the case disappeared. More than 100 years later, the mystery of Hinterkaifeck still remains unsolved. Who walked through the snow that night? Who hid inside the attic, watching the family below? And who stayed behind, inside the farmhouse, after the murders were over? The Hinterkaifeck murders remain one of Europe's most chilling unsolved crimes, and the identity of the killer may never be known.